I'm trying to see if I got like
Was that
spaghetti
your
sauce.
Hannibal the cannibal?
Is that
fava
actually
beans.
that's from Hannibal?
It's from Silence of the Lambs. Yeah.
I served his brain.
Isn't that
on
funny?
A bed of fava beans with some Chianti.
I think I might have, like, my mom might have had that movie on while I was asleep when I was a kid, because I used to make that sound a lot, but never seen that movie.
Oh man, that's that
We
one.
should. That's the intro to the podcast right there. Right there, yeah. Welcome back to the Dish With Podcast. I'm Jay Fandango.
Oh, you got. Oh, I've been upgraded at work. I got a promotion.
Oh yeah, what is it?
I'm Don Mikey Miguel.
Don Mikey Miguel.
Don
Miguel.
Mikey Miguel.
Fuck yeah, dude.
All right.
Don Mikey.
Don Mikey Miguel.
I am your third co-host, The Crow.
And return of G-Von, the H-Town Don.
Damn it!
Good to see you guys again.
I was just gonna compliment your consistency on your title, but
Yeah, considering how Mark's
switch it up.
the crow.
But
and
at
then
least
he's
you only have two.
a raven.
Well, you know, but the Spanish version counts as one. I'll give you that one.
Okay, fair enough.
No, we were talking about this earlier, and I wanted to ask you guys, like, on the show, what's your favorite way to smoke? Like, so mine is the bong, followed by probably the blunts, maybe, and then I would say joints and, like, pipes. I don't like pipes. Pipes least.
I would definitely put pipes above joints.
I don't smoke joints or pipes, but I just don't like
I put
either.
pipes above joints just for the economic factor that,
Fair.
like, you light a joint
why I
and
like
you don't want to
bongs.
smoke the whole thing. You put it out, you're killing like a quarter of that joint.
And it's gonna taste like shit.
For me, it's got to be, if it's concentrated, dab out of a pipe.
Oh yeah, well
That's
dabs,
top.
yeah.
Blunt, number two.
You can smoke dab out of a pipe.
But that's why blunts are my go-to things, because
You smoke dab out of a pipe.
my hit
You
is.
can do that.
Yeah, I have,
You don't
I have a
smoke
setup.
it. You don't smoke it right out of your hand.
Nah, not really. That little setup I have. And
I think you have to. smoke that.
joints are really cool because of the taste you get whenever you roll up.
I'm gonna tell you like this, man.
So I like the good old bong.
I started out on
They're
joints.
so dirty.
The bong's a lot.
That's why I clean mine every like other day.
I started out on joints, but I don't really like joints because every couple of hits they want to go out and you have to relight it. It's just kind of a hassle.
Yeah,
So-
especially if you roll them tight, and then you come out roll one too
Bongs
tight.
are only dirty if you let them get dirty.
That's true.
Don't use DJ as an example. He is terrible. I clean my bong every two days, every 3
Most
days.
people's bongs are dirty.
Well, I
A
can grab
human-
my bong right now, and I don't think I cleaned it yesterday or the day before, but it doesn't look bad.
That's why I don't smoke.
A
I don't
person's
smoke out of
character.
apple juice. Don't worry.
A person's character should be judged by the cleanliness of their bong.
Yeah.
Damn.
My bong is dirty as fuck, bro.
Is it?
I do, but I never use it anymore. Like I'm
probably 'cause
I'm
it's
usually
dirty as
smoking
fuck.
blunts too. So
It's gotten too far gone that you don't want to bother
well,
cleaning
no,
it.
I don't use it because I actually accidentally broke my downstem.
Fuck, there's like $10 for
I know,
one.
I just haven't replaced it. So because it's dirty still, and I have to clean it in order to take it and get it sized because I don't know what size it is.
It'll be a whole ordeal.
Yeah.
Just, you know, the high versus a bong versus a blunt, dude.
That's why I'm talking dab. That's why I said dabs. You know,
Dabs are good.
every night before I'm torching that thing, and I'm like, yeah, I'm about to slather this in there, and just. And you know, you can't, you can never hold it all in that first hit. So you're like, let me exhale a little bit, and you're like, but I got some more, and then you're just floating. You go lay in bed, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna dream good tonight.
Well, dabs are
Dabs
something.
offer a different kind
Yeah,
of experience.
I do like dabs, but I feel like dabs are you're chasing the dragon with dabs.
After the first
Like,
one,
yeah,
you can't
like-
do it like when you wake up in the
You're
morning.
right, you get your
It's like-
tolerance goes up.
That's why my first
strangely
dab
quick.
hit of the day is at night before bed. I have the whole day to catch up to that hit again.
Man,
Well,
that's,
if you
that's
do,
fair.
if you're only doing one, then that's fine. When
That
I'm
is
saying,
an
something to
economical
drink.
use
I'll
of
be
dabs,
right
so
back.
I agree with that.
like if you, like if you start doing dabs in the morning time, you know, get up, day off, start doing dabs, then you're blowing through that shit
I think, and that's my biggest problem. Like, I don't have any sense of conservation, you know. And like when I get weed, I'm just smoking.
She
it.
has no self control.
Not when it comes to weed. Anyway. Not when it comes to weed.
He's the reason I think he's the first person I ever dabbed with. I'd probably smoked him or tried him before, but like this nigga was like, oh yeah, I'm about to go hit my connector, and the plug would come through, like he would chill with us. And man, when I tell you, I was like, dang, I'm high. He'd be like, about to load it.
Man, we need to.
I'm like, bro, what are
Yeah,
you doing?
I'm the same way. Like when I'm smoking, I'm like, fuck, it's on. I conserve where I know the size of the hits that I take. and so I could like look at it and be like, oh, I got like.
We should have a good old fashioned smoke out.
6
on
more of these.
So
Yeah.
when I first
elaborate.
When I first started smoking, the people that I was smoking with, the mentality that they had towards smoking, it was all right. So I'm 15. I'm hanging out with a bunch of white boys in the River Oaks area, and they all have money. So their mentality was smoke it till it's all gone because we have to go home and we can't have this when we go home.
Oh, yeah.
And so when we would buy it, we'd buy 7 grams, whatever it was, and then we would just fucking smoke, and that was how I got started smoking. So
Nice.
for me, it's
Lucky bastard.
Yeah, but at the same time, now my tolerance is so high that I feel like I've got to smoke all the time.
Well, no, it's a habitual thing. It's like it's
That's why
like,
I make him rip the bong, because that fucks him up because he's not as used to it.
Yeah, and it puts you out of your comfort zone too. Like I'm the same way with that shit too. But I know it, like, because when I started smoking weed, there was no fucking hydro. There was no. It was just Reggie weed.
Popcorn.
I remember.
Is that like the best you could get?
That was
like
the best
popcorn?
popcorn. Yeah, it's the best you can get. You got some
I'll
of
still
that.
smoke some popcorn.
Back when saying like this is from Cali was a whole. It meant something.
It meant something.
Yeah.
Like you
Back
got your
when it
weed.
was $20 a gram, like,
Yeah.
for just across the board.
I
Yeah,
jumped in the game.
Hydro. Hydro, Baby Dro, KB, Kind Bud. Like
Yeah.
that was all. That shit was like trickling in there, but. We were of the half-baked mentality, bro. We were just like smoking till we're fucking stupid. Like we were like
Especially after work, man.
after work.
That's the best. Oh man, I
we were
remember.
skateboarders, so we just let's go skate and get all fucking
I
blazed.
can't imagine like getting high and skateboarding.
I
It
can't
was
wait till
so
my
fun.
kids have
Imagine
that
I
get
just
high
eat shit
phase.
all the time.
It's gonna be awesome.
So you would fall and you wouldn't care.
Yeah, I guess it kind of numbs it a little bit.
You'd laugh. You'd be like, "Whoa!"
Get high and drunk, bro. You're gonna kill yourself.
Crossfaded is what we used to call it.
Yeah. For sure.
Song. And
I didn't want to say
remember-
cross-faded because then like some people might not know what that means, man.
For sure.
What if they don't smoke? What if
Now
we're
they
talking to
know.
a bunch of non-smokers right now?
Where?
All right, so I'm
That's
going to
true.
tell you all
That's
of the hip terms for combinations of drugs.
Yeah.
And candy flipping is one of my favorites.
Mark
Candy
made them up.
flipping.
Mark
I don't
made
even-
up all the.
I've never even heard of candy flipping.
What? It's acid and exos.
Acid and ecstasy.
Fuck no.
We used to take. This is when it was the
No.
exos back in the day.
I got too much going on. over here
Exos
for
20
that.
years ago. We would get acid in liquid form. 20 years ago when I was in high
The
school.
little
Yes.
droppers.
The little
The drop-
droppers.
Bro.
Used
Did
to
you
drop
ever
them
get
in
it
our
dropped in your
eyes.
eye?
Yes,
That's what I
bro.
did. Insta fry, bro.
Bro.
Yes.
Insta fry. And
Yeah.
and they were arranged by colors, right? The clearest one they were weak, but
Purple.
the purple, like
Purple.
you got all the way down to the darker colors. You're like, oh, this is the
Yeah.
good shit. So we would get like K packs of fucking Exos, and fucking just line them up, and have like a heat lamp, and just be like, blip, 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 blip. Drop the acid on them. You gotta dry it real quick, otherwise the pill will break
Yeah,
apart.
it'll start to disintegrate. Yeah.
And so, and then you just fucking start selling those out, bro. It would be intense.
Would you drop
Such
acid
good
again?
I don't think I would now.
I don't think I need to.
I'd rather do shrooms.
Have you ever
Shrooms
done
are
it?
great.
Yeah, I've done it a couple times.
You know they call those the fruit of
I
the
haven't
gods?
done like the
Shrooms.
straight up drop in the eye, but I've done tabs.
that drop in the eye was life changing.
Bro,
Yeah.
never again.
I still,
though.
Never again.
I still got. Believe me though, like the first time was a good trip. Like like as they say, you begin to think about things you never thought about before. And then the second time, that was when I had my fucking I thought the tab, because it hadn't fully dissolved yet, and I was like, I'm losing my mind already. So I went into the back. I went into the kitchen and was like, took the tab out, and I'm just like, fuck. And then the sink is like a vortex, and I like go to wash my hands like of the slobber, and I fucking just see a bunch of blood on my hands, and then my hands start disintegrating and swirling into the sink, and I just turn the water off, dry my hands, and I go into my room, and I'm just like,
Bro, you had a whole poltergeist moment.
No
Like,
shit,
For all
bro.
of the people who don't understand why that sounds
it was
fun,
Ivory's fault. It was
drugs
Ivory's
are
fault.
fun because life
And Antonio.
at some point will
Oh,
get boring
Ivory.
for you. From 13 to 18, life will have some boring points, and I'm just telling you. And the boring spells that we had, that we filled with drugs, we enjoyed it.
Acid fucked me
I'm not
up.
saying
This is the
for
second
everyone.
episode in a row you're advocating giving drugs to children.
Well,
Oh, yeah,
I'm
that's
not-
right.
I'm not. I didn't mention children at all.
no, but
You
you
said
said from the
13 to
ages of
18.
13 to 18, which are children.
When
Well, except
people
for the
use-
18-year-old.
Those are
But
when people are usually exposed to and start.
I know.
trying them out.
I know. Just. It's,
And I remember-
I have to reel it in. You can say what you
She
want.
said
I'm just
15.
saying, reel it in.
That's how old I was when I started
So that's
smoking.
why
I didn't advocate
I was
for
12 when I
15s to
started
go out and
smoking,
smoke.
so it's cool.
Yeah.
Wiz said
I'm
he
not
was
saying
like,
I'm gonna go grab a 15-year-old and be like,
No.
That's just when
dude.
I started smoking.
Maybe if he's like a killer, like you find this fucking kid in the street, like he's killed like 3 men. You're like, here's a pack of cigarettes, man.
So
Chill
Dave
out.
Chappelle's joke about the baby in the middle of the street selling drugs.
That
Baby.
shit happens. It may not have been like an infant.
baby
It might
was
have
on-
been like a 3 or 4-year-old toddler.
that baby was on crack too.
No way it was on crack.
Like, hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
Well, according to Mark, apparently he was on crack. Or like maybe on acid or something.
Maybe.
Maybe he was on a trip.
So the great thing about these trips are you never know how they're going to end. And
You
you're,
want
You
to
have
hear?
no control.
You want to
almost.
hear a situation from whenever I was in high school that doesn't exist today? I don't think. Maybe.
Tell me. Yeah, I love
maybe
this.
in rural America.
Eckerd's.
No, about drugs.
Albertsons.
Albertsons. That's
Borders.
so, shrooms. Okay.
Yeah.
We used to pick shrooms
The fruit of the
back in the
gods.
day. The fruit of the gods.
I don't think that's true.
That's what they call them.
All right.
Really?
So.
Yeah,
Shrooms,
straight out of cow shit, right?
yeah, straight out of cow shit. Shrooms were a byproduct of the certain feed that you would feed cows, and
Vikings.
like most places would change their cow feed up so the shrooms would be like poisonous instead of psychedelic, but you could always tell which shroom was, or you had the purple ring on the bottom of it, right? So
Purplish blue, yeah.
purplish blue.
No, I know what you're talking about,
The
yeah.
stalk will turn like a bluish color.
The stalk would turn,
when it's damaged.
and you'd have two different types. You'd have the flat heads and then the penis head ones, right?
Penis head.
The penis head ones.
dick
Those
head
are the,
ones are great.
Those are the ones you just pluck right out of the ground, just go pop, and just eat it and start fucking tripping right there. So our shroom thing was a progress. It started with 2 of us. You know, it ended up we've been shot at with a shotgun because the guy was like, "Get off my property!" like shooting at us. We learned about flashlights. We learned about boots. And then we would bring trash bags. So by the end, it was 6 of us. And every time it would rain, like in the fall
Right before
semester,
morning.
right, we'd be calling each other like, okay, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, we're gonna
Yeah.
go out, and we hit the cow pastures, and we
Yeah, they sprout
trash
under
bags.
the moonlight.
Yeah, it had to be a clear night. We hit the cow pastures up, and then just like start fucking just selecting shrooms and throw them in the bag. Next day after school, we'd have trash bags full of these.
Have to dry.
Next days after school, we would sit them out and we'd choose some that we're gonna dry, and the others that we're gonna throw the party with. So we take the rest, which is a lot, and we just boil them in one of those fucking big ass, like you're fucking making
Crawfish or some
yeah.
shit.
Gumbo. Yeah.
Make
Yeah,
tea.
Yeah, we make tea. We boil them all down,
Ugh.
strain them, and then mix them with packets of Kool-Aid
Oh, okay.
and sugar, right? And so at the party, the members of the group, we divided it all into gallon jugs. So the members of the group, each one had a gallon, and you would come up to me and pay me $2, and I'd give you a cup, fucking fill you up,
The
and then
best-
you go on about
Just
your
be
business.
free, fraught.
Be free. Go.
The best thing that goes with shrooms.
Did it, was it effective? That juice you
Yeah.
made?
They're great.
You would drink it and you'd be like, "What's going on?" And then next thing you know, you start tripping balls. My friend Adam, when he was like this little chubby Asian dude, and he was always a sweater, right? He would
Oh.
always, those guys that are always just
Yeah.
sweating and like chubby. This motherfucker started tripping so bad, like he just started sweating. He's like, "I can't stop sweating. I'm so hot."
I would just-
and he like ran outside, and I remember it's like November, and it was like
Also, it's
actually like
freezing.
40 degrees outside. And he like takes his shirt off and he like lays on the hood of a car. It's like, "Oh, it feels so good. Oh, I was just sweating so much." And then he looked up and he's like wiping sweat away, and he's like, "The fucking bugs!" And he like starts jumping and running around like he started tripping bad.
I think it was bugs on him.
Yeah. And so when if you're having a bad trip, you're having a bad trip, and that sucks.
Because it's all about your state of mind.
Yeah.
So, like,
But
people
if
don't
you-
understand
If you're
that.
having a good trip and you see somebody having a bad trip,
It'll ruin your shit.
it'll fucking ruin it.
Yeah.
So like I gotta get away from like somebody help Adam. Like, nope.
Which is why when I started having a bad trip, I was just like, I'm going to my room. I'm not gonna be any fun for anybody.
It was because of that car ride.
Bro, that's why when y'all said I was the shaman, the
You were at
pink
least
shirt,
my shaman.
white,
Michael didn't give a shit.
white pants, I was like, come with us. Come to the light.
To be fair, though, I snapped out of it when it's the simplest thing, too. I went up to Michael and I was like, bro, I'm tripping so fucking hard right now. And he was like, what are you tripping about? And I was just like, huh. You're right. I was chill from there on. We went into Mark's room, did dabs and whippets, and I was just like,
bro,
woo.
I don't think I've ever laughed so hard than we were in that car coming back
Oh
from
my
the river.
god, that
I
was a
was-
nightmare, dude. I don't think I'll ever forget that.
I still remember what I was doing, what I was thinking in my head as we're driving, right? Because I remember taking the long wind down there, and then when we started going back, like the gas light came on, and I was like,
We weren't even that far from our
weren't even-
location.
but I was just
But
like,
in that moment,
and I was just like, well, I hope we're going the right direction, because we all remembered like it's a one big circle to get back to where. So if I had actually taken a right, which I knew I took a left, but if I'd taken a right and our gas light goes on, then we're in trouble. We're in trouble then, because it's gonna take us a while to get back to the
Forever to
road.
get to gas.
Yeah.
I was
But when
saying
you-
we have 50 miles at
when
least.
when you've rode with someone out of town to somewhere you've never been before, the only thing you really have to pay attention are the landmarks. And I just remember on the way there, I was like, I don't remember any fucking gas stations. So when he says that and then makes the turn, all I can remember is all of these twists and turns we took to even get to this fucking river. And I'm like, Michael, it's killing us.
And I'm like, oh, slow down, slow down.
Yeah, he was not helping.
And I was like, Taco Bell will get us home, remember? Because it
What's
was the
crazy?
Taco Bell.
What's crazy is
Yeah,
you were
we're
talking,
talking
about
about
tolerance.
Rudy's.
Yeah.
My tolerance for shrooms has risen, and I feel comfortable driving on them now, like all the time.
Bro.
No deal.
Like comfortable driving.
The
No
moment,
deal, Howie.
the point of no return hit me when I was sitting on the river. Actually,
you look
I
like
was,
Howie Mandel with hair.
Yes.
Like a black Howie Mandel with hair.
Yeah, I can say that.
And you look like you'd be a germaphobe.
Yeah, you do.
I'm
No,
just
but
playing,
the
I'm just
point of
playing.
no return is when I'm sitting in that river
smoking
and
on
I'm
purpose.
fucking peeking on shrooms. Everybody else is kind of just chilling, not really feeling it or whatever. And I just go, how are we getting home if I drove us here? And I'm fucked.
After we'd all come out of the murder bathroom,
when you just started realizing, oh, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, why does this thing exist?
bro, we all had the most ominous fucking vibe from this bathroom we all went into, one after another. And it was like, when we mentioned it, it was like, I thought it was just me.
I threw up in there.
The bathroom is the dark side. Like, don't
That's
go.
where I went. I went in there, threw up, came back out, was fucking tripping balls, bro.
I didn't throw up till we were back at the hotel.
See, but then that's why you started tripping again.
Water was the best thing for us while we were tripping. Even though we
Dude.
left. Man.
That was fucking like, it's exactly like they show it in the movies.
Yeah, listen up, kids.
You think when people are tripping on psychedelics,
On psychedelics.
not like drunk or anything, that's sometimes exaggerated, but
Speaking of, cheers, guys.
psychedelics, bro, that shit, it's honestly, it's a terrifying experience. At the same time, it's a wonderful experience.
Really great. When you
Because
don't
it's
have
like
anything to worry about.
exploring the great unknown almost, which is your mind. And you don't have access to a lot of these like connections that are being made while you're on psychedelics. So when you are, you're just like, fuck, dude. Like a lot of the times you're just caught up in your own fucking head.
What's scary for me about them, or not scary, well, yeah, it's scary, but is the lack of control you have when you're on it. You have to open yourself
man.
up to that. But the lack of control, like, Mark, you're easy to get
Yeah.
to with that. Like,
You
Mark,
have to give in to. You have to
Dog.
go with the flow. I was gonna
Yeah.
say that earlier.
Don Mike.
I can't,
Don
like, I have to
Michael
give
Miguel.
in. The reason why I do what I do, and, you know, I drink booze and smoke bud, is because I have control over it. Like, I can stop. Like, we all joke, I'm an alcoholic. Yeah.
We should do an
but-
episode where we smoke meth.
Oh, let's do
man.
DMT.
Good guys.
You say what?
Let's do DMT.
Dimethyltryptanol.
I'm down with DMT.
I'm
We got
okay
some
on that.
80 milligram oxy.
No thanks.
Dimethyltryptanol.
See, I don't. That's why I don't do pills anymore. I don't do pills anymore because it used to just be. I used to be like down the hatch, you know, let's see where the rabbit hole goes.
Horse eating coffin cold.
Bro,
Man, triple C's, baby.
as I've gotten older, I've come to realize that I'm kind of an anxious person.
Man, me too.
And when I'm on psychedelics, especially like judging by the most recent time I was on psychedelics, man, like it's just too much anxiety.
It's not for
going
you
through.
with
yeah,
that.
like I can't do psychedelics
I agree.
like I used to.
I agree with that.
Did you have something planned? Did you have plans?
Bro, you remember the last time we tripped? Me and you?
Yeah.
We were gonna go play laser tag. We got down the way. It was hot.
Could you
laser
imagine
tag
doing
we
that?
had to ride the bus.
I would
Laser
probably
tag
end up having a heart
Laser
attack.
tag was closed. Nikki got off. She was crossing the street and she was like, "Hey, I want to go with y'all."
I remember that.
She came across the street. She was
Mark don't even
PMSing
remember.
hard, bro.
That was the last time?
While you were tripping? Oh
Bro,
my
and
god.
I'm like, the whole time crashing. We get on the bus, like people's faces are morphing, and I'm like,
Yeah, you're peaking.
Rada rada.
That was
Bro,
the last time?
That was the last time me and you tripped, and that was the last time I tripped.
Dude,
I
That-
owe you
He
a-
said
a
period.
trip.
that would give me a heart attack. I would think we're on like Zeta Halo and fucking going to war.
So the reason I say acid fucked
I'd be
me up
terrified.
because I don't remember being anxious or things like that until after I take. Because I used to take acid. Like I was never the biggest or the strongest dude, but I was the fucking most craziest motherfucker, or at least under the radar. Like, don't fucking tell this guy to do it because he'll fucking do it. And I wasn't like a party favor crazy where like, oh, come look at this guy, he likes to fucking do, But when it came to like drugs and shit, when I'm out there chilling with people being cool, that was a knock. Was that your rings?
I'll get it. Don't worry. Y'all continue.
When I was like being cool, I would fucking do it. And I remember taking acid. This guy named Darren Sellers would fucking do so much acid, and I would just chill with him, and he was fucking cool, right?
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's a firefighter for Laporte.
I love, bro.
I like, shout out to Darren, he's a good guy. But I
Boys,
fucking did
we
so
got
much. I got so scared at the mall this time. I was in the mall, and we were fucking. I was thinking the ground is going like this, up and down, like as waves, right? Because that's where we all went back in the day. We go to the arcade in the mall, right? And I'm literally walking through the mall, like.
Avoid the lava. Oh my god.
Like trying to step over these big huge mounds as they come towards me, and then this lady comes up to me, this old lady. My friends are like, we got to get him out of the mall, right? This guy looks like he's fucking, like I was losing it. And he turned me around, we're in the parking lot, this lady comes up to me, an old lady. Her face and shit is so dysmorphed that she looked at me. And then, like, as she got closer, it was like Indiana Jones or like Ghostbusters, where they're like, get her, and she looks real hot until she gets up to you and is like, "Rah!" And I'm like, fuck, and start screaming at the top of my lungs, pointing at this old lady, the fucking devil! Like fucking, and they're like they're like pulling me away from this lady. I'm like, fucking say it, like screaming, bro. Like
That's funnier than the time you projectile vomited
Okay.
yeah.
off the wild turkey.
All the wild.
So you're
Or
talking
was it
about
Southern
bad
Comfort?
trips?
It was Jack Daniels.
Okay.
I've had several bad trips.
I've seen a few people have bad trips.
I've
and,
only had 2, but the one on the shrooms I recovered from, so I count that as a win.
Yeah,
You
no,
ever-
I wouldn't count that as a bad
You ever
trip.
see something
was bad
happen
for a
and
while, though.
feel
Really?
like you
For,
couldn't
like,
do
45
anything?
minutes. What?
Like you ever see something happen and feel like you couldn't do anything about it?
I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, it happens all
Bruh,
the time, especially when you
like-
see wrecks on the road.
I saw some crazy shit, and some crazy shit happened to me this weekend and made me think about it too. But basically, this guy that I was tripping with, we were walking to the store, and he got a phone call, so he walked ahead a little bit, and he was getting to his car. It was parked on the street, and there was like this thing coming by on his skateboard, and the skateboard rolled under his car, and as he got to his car, he saw that his passenger side window had been smashed out. So he blamed the skateboarder immediately. And it was just like, the dude skating was like, thank God, I got away from my board, but I didn't. Oops.
I didn't smash
Like,
your shit.
He gets mad at the skateboarder, and they like start arguing, and he like tries to fight him, but the dude grabs his board and literally like runs away and just starts skating off. And I was
Smart,
like,
good
dang,
reaction.
Like, he's clearly, yeah, because we couldn't respond as fast. But in my head, I was like, dang, were you ready to go fight this guy over the skateboard?
That'd been insane.
Yeah, no shit.
And I couldn't, bro. I couldn't. He'd gotten so far ahead. I was like, dang.
Give me an ashtray, Mark.
Right.
Yeah, drugs are bad, bro. I got
You can't, yeah.
I started doing bars whenever I was selling them. And it was like, this is still high school. This is like, cause like acid was like sophomore year, but Xanax came when I was like senior, and we were selling them hoes, and I would take them and then drink a fucking 24-ounce Monster, and I'd take like fucking 4 bars, bro. I'd be out of there. One time I told this dude at a party, like, I was stealing his pipe. Like, we were sitting in this party and I'm all barred out, and then we're passing around this weed pipe, and then it gets to me, and then I just go like, and I don't remember this is something that somebody told me that I did, that I just put it in my pocket, and I tell the guy next to me, I'm like, I'm stealing this motherfucker's pipe. And he's like, that's my pipe.
To the guy you just said.
Yeah. I'm like fucking stealing it, bro. And because I woke
you don't give a fuck when you're on there.
I did not
Dude,
give a
that's
fuck.
hilarious.
Don't.
What the hell?
Fucking Travis told me, he was like, bro, you just looked at him dead in the eyes, like, I'm fucking stealing this,
Bro.
And then and I went, no, he was, cause he's like, he looked around like if I was for real, cause I was just like threatening, and like in my look, in my appearance, I'm like, nah, I'm fucking stealing this. And I went up, because it was all brought up the next day, because I'm like, he came over, knocked on my door the next morning, and he's like, hey, how you feel? How's it going, bro? And I'm like, bro, fucking head hurts. I don't remember, I'm just getting up, and I'm like emptying out my pockets from
Everybody
the night before.
has to tell the rest of their stories in Italian. The best Italian accent.
I'm instantly angry.
Anyway,
Like you're
he's
a
on the
soprano.
Sopranos now.
Like
Yeah.
Come on, give it to me.
That's not Italian. That's a fucking Jersey accent.
Give me the story with some fuma.
They have a Jersey accent.
Yeah, that's not it.
Fuma.
Give it to me.
Italian would be like in
I'll
Italian.
give you guts. How about that?
Hey,
Yeah.
Hey.
La fondue, huh?
What were you saying?
hostile?
Anyway, he
Many
comes
cup.
to my house, and I'm just like, I'm asking him questions, and that's why I was like, why do I have this? Where did I get this pipe and this weed? And he's like, yeah, you stole the pipe from that dude. Well, he's like, I guess technically it wasn't stealing, since you told him you were doing it, and then he just walked away. And he goes, do you remember?
My nose.
Wow.
And he goes, do you remember how you?
This guy.
No, you can. That's still stealing. Yeah.
And he's like, do you remember how you got here last night? And I'm like, what do you mean? And he was like, oh yeah, because I'm still at my parents' house, right? And this party was like down the street, so I just walked. Every party's like down the street from my parents' house.
Nice.
And so I walked there. The last thing I remember was trying to jump the fence. I don't know why. I don't know if it was in or out. But what I do know is I jumped the fence, fell, and I was just like, I'm done. What I said to the party. I was like, I'm out. I just walked. The party's still going on. It wasn't like a big party. People are just sitting around chilling, but music's going on in the background, right? And they're drinking. And I just walk up to everybody. All right, peace out. Thanks for the weed and the money. Because I went over there to give bars out, sell bars, right?
Lit.
And then instead of opening the fence, I got there on my bike. I remember now. And instead of opening the fence, I tried to jump over it, and I fall.
Like
what
back?
like boom, and hit the ground.
But they didn't know that.
No, everybody saw it. So my friends that were,
I imagined you going over.
No, yeah, he fell back.
Yeah,
Oh.
I had my backpack on and everything. My
Fucking
friends
idiot.
that were there.
Sound like a fucking degenerate.
That's what bars do, bro.
No, there's other stories
I've
where
got
he's
a
not
story
on
lined
board.
up.
That's what bars do.
I've got a couple of stories
That's why I'm
lined up,
painting
but I'm
this-
only choose one. Go ahead, finish.
That's why I'm painting the picture of how horrible these things are.
I only did it
And-
once. So.
And my friend Kenny, who I've known since first grade, lived down the street, he picked me up he got me up and was like, just chill right here. And it was another girl's car, and I'm chilling in the car, and then they go and they take me to my parents' house, knock on the door. My mom answers. Kenny and it has me like in his arms, and he's like, he just needs a place to sleep. He even said that he knocked my head. He's like, how's your head, bro? And he like knocked my head into like the part of the door frame accidentally, you know, trying to get me into the fucking house.
Fucking killed you.
And then so then I woke up, and then I was
He thought he killed you.
and then I was told everything that I did at this fucking place, all because
And that's when you renounced bars.
yeah, and it was 0 alcohol too, like
A
no
Monster
alcohol,
and some bars.
Monster and Xanax. I've lost fucking days of my entire life on
All
this
right.
shit.
Yeah, bro.
Forget about it. So, true story. Monday morning, I'm coming from taking my daughter to school. I'm riding down Eldridge, you know, the same street as my bank. I'm trying to get to the IBC. This fucking idiot in a Porsche.
Fucking
He thinks
mooly,
he's got
eh?
a nice Porsche. He
Fucking
can just
mooly.
own the road. He's going 15 miles an hour. The speed limit says 20. Fuck him. You know what I say? That's what I say. I get to the right-hand lane. All of a sudden, this guy's got a mind to follow me. Now, I just got to get to my money. So I take the back way to the bank, and look who's behind me. Going 20 miles an hour all of a sudden.
La Fandu,
This guy,
huh?
you know what I'm saying? So instead of going to the ATM where I would do the extra left turn, I do the extra right turn. I pull into the bank. The bank's not open. It's 8:22. So I'd have to wait. But guess who pulls up next to me? This fucking guy. He rolls his window down as I get out of my car. You know what he
Fucking
says
goon.
to me? You know what he says? He says, you should be more careful. There's crazy people out here. Now, I have my Starbucks in my hand, and I told him he was right. And I poured the fucking Starbucks all over this red interior. So I went to the side of the car where he's driving on. I say, what do you want to do? All of a sudden, he backs out. So what's the point of following me and telling me you're
you-
crazy
did you
when
really
it turns
do that?
out you're not crazy? You
First
know,
of-
this fucking guy.
Did you really do that?
Absolutely. True story.
First
When?
of all,
Recently?
Monday morning.
Bro.
Fucking
First
Jesus.
of all,
You are an agent of chaos.
He started it.
I can't wait till you finish The Sopranos, all right? And you're over this fad of
Bro.
Italian, bro. Like,
to be honest, you sounded more like Denzel Washington than you did Italian.
I love Denzel.
You sounded more like Denzel,
At least he tried, man. He went for it.
hey, you
but
sounded,
it was good.
You sounded like
He went for
Denzel.
it.
You
I
sounded
thought
like,
it was clever.
It was good. It was good. You had a good flow, but you sounded like Denzel from Long Island, you know?
Yeah, you sounded like, yeah, exactly. You
You
sounded
let us
like,
know if he sounded like Denzel from Long Island.
yeah, in the comment section. I actually have the story that that made me renounce bars.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
It only
like-
takes one time.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, so it's actually a combination of things. First of all, I used to be like, you sounded like a degenerate on that day, but like I used to be a fucking degenerate.
So
Like,
the white boys he hung out with, did
Bro.
y'all smoke behind the subway?
bro, of course.
All right, so Pete.
Bro.
It was levels of the people that got high in our school, and because Subway was across the street, it was convenient to smoke there.
Yeah.
But all of the dealers would pull up to that Subway and serve, right?
Mhm.
They would serve all kinds of shit in the back of the house. So we knew not to get over there and get to fucking around.
Yeah,
so
nah,
I already
bro.
know where
So,
you're going.
Bro,
I
it's the
would-
same thing. There was a Dairy Queen across the street from me, and that's what
I
it
know
was.
who was selling to
I would
everybody.
buy from over there. I would chill over there and smoke. But honestly, like usually at school, like school
From Chase.
level, like I would get off school and I would get in my partner's car and dip. Like
Yeah.
we would just be all over the place.
That's what I
you
would
know,
do.
like that was the main thing. So I didn't want to get caught up. But that was like at that level, I wasn't even on bars. Like,
But-
honestly, I didn't get caught up on bars until a few years later. I was probably like 21. You know what I'm saying? And I had a friend named
Yeah, because you gotta have an income to fucking buy them hoes.
I had a friend named Chris. We used to call him Seaweed. And he was terrible. And he was addicted to bars. And he was always on them. So one day I wanted to try him, blah, blah, blah. Started doing them. But I learned that I could never do them when I was drunk. Because if
Yeah.
I would drink on them hoes, I would completely forget everything.
Correct.
So that was number one. Like, I didn't like...
That's how I
not
learned.
knowing what I was doing, you know? Then I
That's
got
how
to
I learned.
Zombie mode.
then I got to a point
You
where
would be.
I could be on them as long as I didn't drink and somewhat remember what I was doing. But like I didn't give a fuck. So I was doing things like burglarizing and robbing people, and like it was bad.
Yeah.
You steal on
some
bars.
Jacoby shit.
You
You
steal
do.
on
It was
bars.
bad.
You
It was
do.
bad.
I didn't know that.
It was bad.
I was doing that shit too. I was just hanging around with the wrong people. We were just,
I mean, I never like beat people up to rob them, but I was like going in people's cars.
You don't
petty
remember.
theft.
Yeah,
You
like-
don't remember.
Relatively.
Same here.
You might
You can't blame the
bro,
drugs
like
you're
black
doing
out
for the
on them
actions
hoes,
you do.
pretty much.
Bro, I don't
A part
remember-
of you goes missing.
Yeah.
For real, I don't remember waking. Well, I remember waking up and seeing shit in my garage. Like,
Yeah.
But while you
God
don't
I
remember,
was
damn.
broke.
you're
I came
physically
up on so much stuff during that time, but at the same time, I knew what I was doing was wrong, and I didn't like it.
yeah.
But like, I didn't control myself when I was on it.
See, that was my friend Jeremiah.
And then it got to a point. Where I was hanging out one day with my friend, and he was on them, and I wasn't. And he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go do this," and And it felt like the whole time that I was babysitting him, and I was like, "Is this what I'm like when I'm on them?" And that was the realization. Like, I don't want to
Just
do
move
that.
that.
If that's how I am,
Yeah.
then I don't want to do this anymore. You know. So
That'll do it.
Yeah, that
when you
was-
see somebody.
I've never had a bad trip. I've been barred out, didn't like that shit. I've never had a bad acid or LSD
I've never
or
taken
Molly
bars.
trip or XO hit or anything
Never taken
like that.
bar. Actually, I've taken half of a Xanax once.
I've had
It
bad
didn't
syrup
affect me.
before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a high tolerance
I'll
to
just put
like
you to sleep.
opioids, like pills.
I don't like pills as
And
much.
I
They
like
work.
anything that's ever been like prescribed to me. It doesn't really take very well, but I try not to. I don't deal with any of that
Percocets
stuff.
make you paranoid and itchy and stuff like that. Bars
Ooh.
make you stupid
Burpee.
and still like bars make everyone stupid.
bro, like stupid.
Change it.
Yeah, the last opiate that I did were Percocets that were issued to me in the Marine Corps.
That's something I wanted to do. Opium just straight like they used to in the movies.
Oh
Like
well,
they're
I
talking
took a
about
bite
Peaky
out of
Blinders.
I took a bite out of a fucking poppy plant, poppy seed. My fucking face instantly went numb, and then I had like one of those phase
yeah,
outs.
It's not smart.
You know those people
You know, like
in
when
Inception?
you know that when you take such a big weed hit, you kind of like white out.
Yeah.
For a second.
It's like when they numb your tooth. You're like, good. I don't
Just
feel
take a
anything.
bite into and crack the thing, and it was just like,
All right. Well, we gotta end this episode here.
Hold
Gotta
on.
start it a little late. What's up?
I hate that we got started a little late.
We got a
I'm
little late,
sorry,
guys.
Nobody.
And we didn't mention Black History Month once.
okay, well,
Sorry.
hey, we could do that.
It is the second, and it's the beginning of the
It's the
month.
beginning of the month. That is
I
true.
did figure we should at least mention that it's Black
Sure.
History Month.
Hey,
It's Black History Month.
we could talk about it next week. Well, let's see how it goes down. But there's some serious
It is.
NFL.
It's the shortest month.
Yeah, I
and
was
that
gonna say
sucks.
Tom Brady's retiring.
And yeah, Super Bowl's right around the corner, so that's worth.
Oh
mentioning.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super
interesting.
Bowl.
Tom Brady retired.
Is he?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
officially.
he retired. PlayStation bought Bungie.
Yeah, PlayStation bought Bungie.
Yeah, for $4 billion. That should be interesting.
But yeah, Tom Brady officially retired.
I thought that was
Who
a
RIP?
rumor.
Who died?
he
I was
came
just
out.
about to ask
he
you.
posted on
I don't know
Instagram
anybody
an
that died. I
8-page
haven't heard
retirement
anything.
yesterday.
Maybe that's a good thing. Anybody died?
Nobody's dead that I know of. Also,
Tom Brady's dead to me now that he's retired.
Yeah, let him do it.
actually, this RIP, this one. Speaking of Black history, the black head coach for the Miami Dolphins,
He died?
he was fired for the Miami Dolphins. But
That's worse.
Shout out Black History Month.
no,
yeah,
no,
he
no, no,
was
no,
fired
no, no,
for-
no, no. Just you're jumping on too early.
All
Just
right, all right.
real quick. He was fired, but he had a winning season. He's a good coach. The Texans are interviewing. I hope they get him, but probably not now. He's suing the NFL and
three other teams.
and 3 other teams, including the Dolphins that just fired him. There's a rule in the NFL that is called the Rooney Rule. It's to embrace having more minority coaching and management at a high level. So every team that wants to hire a general manager or front office guy or a head coach has to interview at least 2 minority candidates.
And he's claiming that they didn't.
Get this, bro. Get this. So this has been in place for like 20 years now, and they think the system is there's always controversy over the Rooney Rule, right? Like, did this team do the Rooney Rule when they hired such and such white coach? You know, things like that. So the New York Giants hired a guy named Brian Daboll. and he worked for Bill Belichick in the Patriots, right? Well, Bill Belichick texts Brian Flores, like Brian Flores does the interview with the Giants. He texts Brian Flores, congratulations on landing the Giants head coaching job. And Brian Flores is like, well, do you know something that I don't? Because I haven't even gone for the interview yet. And then Belichick texts him, oh, I fucked up. I meant to text Brian DeBall. And so he texted the wrong guy. So Brian DeBall, now maybe he knew because he worked for Belichick that Belichick had like an inside on who would, but it basically meant that Brian Flores' interview with the Giants was not only meaningless because they had to, but it, like, you know, it's like they've already made the decision anyway, you know, that like you don't have the interview when you make the decision. You can't make the decision. And so that was the first one. The second one was from 2019, the Denver Broncos, when he had his interview there. Everybody showed up. This is John Elway, president of football operations. They all showed up late and hungover from the night before, and he's like, nobody's engaging you, so they're just like checking boxes, right? So it's like serious shit for minority coaching, you know, for the NFL, for the league. It's a bad look on the fucking league, because now you got teams that the owners are just like, well, if I already know I'm going to hire such and such, whether or not he's white or black, the teams usually know. The teams usually know who they're going to hire, and then they're just like, oh, well, we have to interview now these two minority people, but if we only interview 3 people and one of them's white, that makes us look bad. So now we got to interview 5 people, and da da da. So this is like, I thought it was, and so Brian Flores is suing the league, and I hope he fucking get some real serious traction. He was on Get Up this morning, and I thought it was a good kickoff for Black History. Like, it wasn't even talked about. You know how the NBA has all been talking about Black History, but it wasn't even talked about because Brian Flores is kicking ass out there.
I was just, I like
the R.I.P. is Lauren
to seeing it just go
from Book 2 Ghosts.
You just looked up?
No.
You looked it up.
She was a snitch. No.
And why did you have to wait until after all that?
Well, that was a good story, and it
okay.
is.
All right. I'm not gonna detract from what you're saying, bro. I'm sorry.
But she dead. She was snitching, and she
Damn.
dead now.
What? Legitimately snitching?
Oh yeah, she was snitching.
Oh well, don't snitch.
Yeah, snitches get stitches.
Just get stitches. Yeah.
I don't like snitching unless it's to my friends about, like, I have to snitch to my friends, you know, like.
That's just filling them in.
Yeah.
But like,
oh, that's not snitching?
Snitching is working with the police to actively.
Okay, only police or authority in general?
This bitch wore a wire.
Authority.
Oh. I don't know the context, but fuck.
She dead now.
All right, don't snitch.
On a wrap up, I actually have something I wanted to say. So today is actually 2/2/22.
Yes, I was saying. I saw that earlier.
Title of the episode.
And I think it's worth to note that numbers, and really all things, but like numbers, words, those things have meaning. You know, like, and the representation of 2/2/22 is harmony and serenity. Nice. Apparently, it means that the angels are trying to tell you that you must achieve some sort of equilibrium in your life. It's an angelic number for good things to come. So, good things to come for anyone who's watching.
Russia's invading Ukraine.
Unless you're snitching, of course.
World War III imminent, y'all. See you next week.
Bye, guys.
I'm just playing.
But did you die, Jordan?
But did you
know
die?
what that is?